In this video, I'm going to show you guys how to make a Shuriken throw and damage other players, just like that. Okay, so let's get started.
These videos and tutorials are mostly small sections taken out of our entire course. At Griffin Learning, we make awesome games in Python, such as Tetris, Space Invaders, Snake. And we make games in Roblox, like FPS shooters, horror, action-adventure, and more. We don't just tell you what to do, we teach you everything you need to know, so that you can create your own unique games. If you're interested, please visit Griffin Learning to find out more.
The first thing you guys want to do is you guys want to click and drag your handle, copy it into the workspace, paste into, and then you can drag that and paste it right into your server storage. Call this handle Shuriken. Okay, then the next thing you want to do is you want to your Shuriken, add in a trail. So type in trail, add that in, and you want to add in two attachments. Call the first one attachment 0. The second one, rename attachment 1. For attachment 0, make the x-axis in the position -1, and for attachment 1, make it +1. Just like that for both of those positions, -1 and +1. And then for your trail, you can just go down where it says attachment 0, click your attachment 0, attachment 1, click your attachment 1. And that should work. So now you can edit your trail to a different color you like. I'll leave it as white for now. Let's go back into our handle for the tool in our Shuriken, and we're going to start editing and adding our scripts. Let's add in a local script, a server script, and let's add in a remote event. To this remote event, we're going to rename it into throw Shuriken. The local script, we're going to rename this into Shuriken client, and the script we're just going to name Shuriken. Okay, and to the Shuriken client, we can get started working on this. So the first thing you guys want to do is you guys want to grab your mouse, just like before. So local mouse equals game.players, local player, get mouse. The next thing you guys want to do is you guys want to call local cooldown. This is the cooldown that's going to be for our Shuriken. Okay, and now we're going to call script.activated. This activates when script.parent, .activated, and this activates when our tool is equipped and we click our mouse button. Connect our function. If cooldown is equal to false, then cooldown equals true. Script.parent, and now we're going to grab the remote event. Wait for a child, throw Shuriken. Fire server, mouse.hit, script.parent.handle.position. So we're going to throw the Shuriken from the mouse position of the handle. Then we're going to set a cooldown, so I'm going to do wait. I'll just set it to 0.5 just to test it out for now. And then after that, I'm going to set the cooldown equal to false. Okay, so this should work right now. Just to test it out, we can just test this client-side script by setting print hi. So let's try this really quick. So if we click our mouse, that's from the server, my bad. But if we click our mouse, we grab our tool, it should say hi, just like that. So now you guys know that your client-side script is working. Okay, now we can get started on working on the server-sided script. So we can go to the server side, and we can grab when we fire this event from the client side. So we can go over here. We can first grab the tool, so local tool equals script.parent, local Shuriken is equal to game.serverStorage.Shuriken. And then we can do local throw Shuriken equals tool wait for child throw Shuriken. Okay, And now we can now type throw shuriken on server event connect. When we grab the event from the client, connect the function, the mouse position, and the hand position. Enter. Okay, now we can first write. So now when we throw our shuriken, we're gonna make it disappear from our hand. To do that, we're gonna type for underscore, comma, part in I pairs, script.parent, get children. And we're gonna find if it's a base part. So if part is a base part, then set the transparency equal to 1. And that makes it transparent. Transparency. Okay, there we go. And now all we have to do is say local shuriken clone equals shuriken clone. Just like that. And now we can start typing in the C-frames. So shuriken clone.cframe equals cframe.new hand position, mouse position, dot position. Type the parent and parent it to the workspace, or else we can't actually see the shuriken being thrown into the workspace. And now we're going to set the body velocity. So set body velocity equals to instance.new body velocity. And so we're going to set the speed of the shuriken. To do this, we're going to do body velocity dot velocity equals shuriken clone dot cframe dot look vector times this number. So you guys can change this number to change the speed of your shuriken. I'm going to set it to 75 studs, but you guys can change that. And then make sure you parent this to the shuriken. So shuriken clone. Just like that. Now we want to set the angular velocity. The angular velocity is what gives the shuriken a spin as we throw it. So body angular velocity dot angular velocity equals shuriken clone dot cframe vector to world space vector 3 dot new 0 comma negative 400 comma 0. So we're going to give a spin to the shuriken in the y-axis. Okay. Then let's do body angular velocity dot parent equals shuriken clone. So this number is what gives the spin to the shuriken. This number is really hard to play around with, so try not to change this number too much, but you guys can play around with this if you guys don't like how it looks. Okay, now we're going to call the touched event, so shuriken clone dot touched connect function touch. So we're going to check if we're not touching, make sure we're not touching anything of the player. So is descendant of player.character, then local humanoid, grab the humanoid, touch.parent, find first child humanoid. So if a humanoid exists, we touch something that's not the player, and it has a humanoid, we're going to reduce the health. So we're going to do damage the player, so humanoid take damage 30. And after that, we're going to say shuriken clone destroy. Okay. So if we touch, and what this does is that if it touches something that's not a human or a human, it's going to destroy the shuriken. And as long as it's not a part of the player that's actually throwing it. Perfect. So now we're going to wait a couple seconds until we can, well, basically just remove it from the workspace or from our hand. So for comma underscore part in I pairs, we're going to say how long it takes for the shuriken to reappear on our hand. Get children, do if part is a base part, then part.transparency equals 0. So in the first part, we set it equal to 1 to disappear from our hand. The second part, we reappear into our hand. And that should work. So we can try this out right now and see how this does. Grab our shuriken. And we have a small error in throwing the shuriken, but we can see about that really quick. So guys, I have one error, sorry about that. right on line 19, I wrote shuriken.parent. It's supposed to be shuriken_clone.parent. And now this should work. Let's try this. And we can throw our shuriken, just like that. And not only that, whenever a shuriken touches a part that's not a part of a human, it gets destroyed. And we can damage our dummy. Just like that. And there's one more thing. We can see that our shuriken goes on forever and ever and ever. So we can also remove that and add in the game debris. Okay, so we can do that really quick. We can say, right under our shuriken clone, we attach it to the parent, to the workspace. We can do game get service debris, add item, shuriken clone, and we're gonna set the range. I'm gonna set it 2 seconds. So this is set the range of the shuriken. Very good. And if you guys want to check my shuriken, I have the anchor off and can collide off as well. And one more thing, we can start to add some of the sound effects. So I'll try this one more time before we add the sound effects. But our shuriken should work. We can throw a shuriken just like that. And if it touches anything that's not a part of, like the base plate, it disappears. Or the spawn location, just like that. But other than that, everything should work. Just like that. So now we can just add in these sound effects. So to my shuriken script, I'm going to add in 2 sounds. Sound, sound. I'm going to make the first sound, call it hit, and call the second sound throw shuriken. And I can show you guys the 2 scripts that I found that I like. The 2 sound effects. It's called the knife swing and the stab. I can show you guys that really quick. So the knife swing looks like this from the Roblox studio. Forums, knife swing, just like that. And we have the stab right here. Okay, sorry, that was a bit loud. But we can use those 2 sounds and add them to our game. So to our hit, we're going to make sure it's the stab sound. Copy the URL, paste it into the sound ID, and make sure the sound is 0.1 or something. The throw shuriken, I'm going to make it the knife swing. And I'll put it into the throw shuriken, and I'll make the volume 0.2. And so I'll put these sound effects in the description for you guys to look at. Let's hit play and see how this looks. And we actually didn't add to our script yet. Let me do that one really quick. So right after we call the on-server event, I'll call the throw sound. So script.throw shuriken, play. And I want to call hit whenever it damages a player. So right here, I'll call script.hit play. And that should work. Let's try this. So if we damage our player, or throw a shuriken, we hear a sound just like that. Perfect. Everything seems to be working correctly. Just like that. And there's one more thing, if you guys notice, but when we throw our shuriken, there tends to be a very small lag. I know you guys can't notice it, but there's a very small lag when we throw our shuriken. And that's because when we throw our shuriken, it's being handled by the server. To change this, we can just make it be handled by the client. So right after we paired it to the workspace, we can just say shuriken clone set network owner to the player. And this will stop the lag by setting the client to handle the physics. And let me just check over everything really quick to make sure we have it all. And that looks good. So we can try this one more time. Click play here. And now if you guys can look really closely, this is normal lag. And I misspelled network owner really quick. Network owner player. Okay, let's try this one more time. And let's throw our shuriken. There we go. And if you look very closely, there's normal lag as we throw our shuriken. Nice. And let's check one more time over the scripts. You guys can edit the cooldown right here. Edit the cooldown here. In our script, for our client side, we can edit the range right here. And we can edit the speed right here. And one more thing, we can edit the damage here. So you guys can play around with all those different attributes and make a shuriken to however you like it. Okay, in our next video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to actually make a fireball. And these are going to be wizard spells we're going to have in our Wizards and Ninjas game. My name is Zach, this is Griffin Learning, and I'll see you guys in the next video.